Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Saadatu and this is Saadatu's Daily. If this is your first time of coming here, you're welcome to this channel, and for my old subscribers, thanks for always coming back to watch my videos. Before we go right onto it, I want to just appreciate my daughter for making this t-shirt for me. It was actually a plain white t-shirt and they did tie and dye in school, and she made this for her mom. I've actually had it in my wardrobe. I didn't know where to wear it and I wore it today. And before filming this video, I went to show her, like, she was like, wow, this is so beautiful. And it's actually beautiful. All right, so I know you didn't come here to look at my shirts. You came here to find solutions to your problems, right? You came to find out how to increase your CRS scores. So let's get right into it. So I know that it's a really big challenge for a lot of people that are on the pool. They've been on the pool for ages, for months, for years, and the reason is because your CRS scores are low. And recently, as at recent, the draws that have been going on have been really high, 500 points, you know, and you're like, oh god, am I going to ever succeed on this Canada jackpot stuff? Well, there's hope for you. You just have to do one or two tweaking, you know, to get there. Express entry is actually the fastest way for one to get migrated to Canada. Yeah, it's the pathway, is the main pathway for people to get, you know, apart from now them directing yourself to PNP or to this or to that, you know. So there are different ways you could actually increase your CRS scores if you don't know, and I'm going to delve right to it. But before I do that, I'm going to just talk about the different factors that make up the CRS points. For if you don't know what the CRS is the comprehensive ranking system. That is where you get to see your scores, like what is my score going to be on the express entry pool, you know, what is that figure going to be, because every bi-weekly the government does pick people based on the scores, based on their occupations and all that. So averagely the total score that's obtainable on the express entry is 1,200. That's 1,200. That is the point. So they do draws based on that, you know, point. So the first thing that we're going to be looking at that makes up the CRS scores is your age. 20 to 29 years of age are the ones that have the highest points on the express entry. If you have a sibling or your spouse or something that is younger than you and falls below 30, this is the best time to enter the express entry, you know, because the age alone gives you so much points compared to we that were already above 30s, you know, smelling our 40s. We don't really have much points. So if you're below 30, you have more chances than other people that are above 30. The second one is your education. You know, as I said in my previous video, the Canadian government brings in the best of the best. So the more education you achieve, the better your chances, the better your points. So if you only have a bachelor's degree, you want to look at going into masters. And if you also already have the masters and are not getting enough points, you may want to go to do your PhD. Yeah, you don't look at it as a far cry, like, why will I have to go back to school or something? No, it's important. If you want to, before you know it, 1-2 years is gone, and enroll for your master's program. You can, if you're in Nigeria, you could do the distance learning. That's the Open University. Just enroll now. Before you know it, 2 years has gone. So, you know, just do it. The third one is a work experience. So the higher your work experience, the higher your chances. If you have 1 year work experience, you have your points. If you have 2, but the highest is 3 years and above, you have you want to max out the point. So that work experience makes up the CRS point. Is very important. Don't bring people that don't have any work experience. You want skilled workers to come into the country. So the other one is relative. If you have relative in the country, if you have relative in Canada, siblings, direct siblings, it adds to your points and your chances of coming to Canada through the express entry. Another one is your language, your English language test. Either language, yeah, first and second language. The basic one is English, but if you have another language, that's the French, it another serious point. French is a big deal, you know, makes up your chances for coming in through the express entry. And lastly is your other ties to Canada. Have you worked before in Canada? Have you schooled? If you have all those things, it increases your points on the express entry. So people that have come here to do 1 or 2 degrees, it goes a long way to boost your chances. So those factors are what makes up the comprehensive ranking system. So we're now going to go into how to boost your score. You've been on the pool for long, you've been hanging on a particular score, you know, and you hope is gone, like I can't make this thing, like they're never going to bring down the score to my level and all that. There are 1 or 2 things that you could do to boost your points. So the first one, as I said, is your age. I'm not saying you should go and reduce your age if that's what you're thinking. There's nothing we can do about our age. Every passing second increases our age. You'll be on the pool. Instead of you to be happy that your birthday is coming, I'm going to be a year older, you know it's going to reduce your points on the CRS. Yeah, we all experience that, but you know, it is what it is. So when it has to come with age and you're married, when you have a spouse, you want to choose the person, the youngest person in the relationship. If the husband is the youngest, he will be the primary applicant, and if the wife is the youngest, she will be the primary applicant. So it's advisable for spouses to even use the CRS calculator, which I'm going to link on the description box underneath this video. I'm going to put the link to this CRS link. So the husband should put his points, the wife should put her details, so you get to see who has the highest score. So sometimes the wife has a master's, the husband doesn't have a master's, the wife is not working, the husband is working. So you do it, put your age, put your test scores. Even if you've not done your English or your French exam, you put an assumed score, you know, to see who has the highest points, and then you know, okay, this is going to be the primary applicant. So most relationships, the wives are younger, you know, and if you're lucky she's below 30, please hurry up and go to the pool, you know, she has more chances, you know. And if she's below 30, no masters and all that, it is the best time to go back to school to obtain that degree. So when it comes to age, we cannot reduce our age, but we want to use the youngest person in the family to be the one to, you know, apply. And this age, again, let me divert a bit. This has nothing to do with marriage. So if you are in a family, you have a family, father, mother, and children, and you are thinking that, okay, one of us have to travel abroad, at least to open ways for other people to come in, then all of you should gather your head and sponsor that your young brother that is 25, that has graduated, that is looking for a job. Push him to go and do his masters, or push her to go and do her masters. Go and get a job, no matter the job. Go and get work experience. That person is going to be picked in the pool because he's very young, has a masters, you know, has graduated and all that. When the person is lucky, they pick you to Canada, you can easily bring in your family members to the country. I'm going to make a separate video on that. That is because there's some families that none of them have relocated, none of them have traveled. So the parent is this time to look into it, that let's capitalize on this our young son, this our young daughter, that the country is, there's no even hope for you in this country. You graduate at 24, at 25, quickly go and do your masters, go and get a job, no matter the job, to get 3-4 years experience, so that when you enter the pool, you're a hot cake, you're going to be picked, you know. That's a different diversion entirely. So that is for age. The second thing you want to do is for your English score. You're on the pool already, you've written the IELTS exam, maybe you even wrote it 1, 2, 3, 4 times, but you're on the pool and you did not max up your score. Maybe on CLB 7, CLB 7.5, CLB 8. The highest you can get is CLB 9. You can do it, because if you use the CRS link that is in the description box, if you impute that in your listening, writing, reading, the other one, if you put that you got 999 or 8.5, 999, you will see how your score increases. So you have the opportunity to go back to write that exam. And if you've never written the exam and you're considering it, Don't write it until you're comfortable enough to say, yes, I'm going to max out. Don't just register and go and write it. There are a lot of resources online that you could practice to get the highest, to max up, especially on the listening. If you have 9 points, 8.5 on the listening alone, you get to see how it boosts up your CRS score. So if you're on the pool and you didn't max up your points, it's an opportunity for you to go back to go and write the IELTS exam, to max up your points. All those little things increases your points. It's in this Canada jackpot worker that you will know that 1 point, 5 points can make or mar you. You understand? So you want to go back to write. There's nothing wrong in writing the IELTS exam more than one time. For me, I wrote it twice. I know of a family that the wife disclosed to me that she wrote it 10 times. IELTS, yeah. There's a big deal in it. It's an English exam. Yeah, we speak English and all that, but don't be surprised. They have their own format of the exam. So you have to study to know how their questions are being asked and how to answer them. You can write it as much as possible, because the journey you want to partake in, the location you want, it is 100% worth it. So you want to do everything it takes to max up your points. So if you max out your IELTS exam, or if it's a CELTIP exam you wrote or something, try to max it out. Max it out. You see how it will affect your points at the end of the day. So another thing that has to do with increasing your CRS score is to go and get a second language exam, which is French. French is golden. French language is, if you get French in your points, it boosts it by, I think, 200 points. Is it 200 points, 50 points? Yeah. So you may say, I've never learned French. I only learned French in primary school, in secondary school. A lot of people have gone to study French from the scratch. They've gone to study French. They give themselves a timeline that I'm going to learn this thing, I'm going to write the exam, I'm going to pass. If you really want to, you can go and, there are a lot of centers in Nigeria that register people for French, even online. If you're not in the state where they offer it, go and learn your French and write the exam alongside your English exam. It boosts your points automatically. For people that already know French, and this is a right opportunity for you to think of to consider relocating, because French is the second language. It's spoken here everywhere. In Canada, it's the second language. It boosts your job opportunities. It boosts you have more chances than someone that just has the English language as their language. So it's very important. If you have the opportunity to study and write the French exam, they call it the TEF. Yeah, the TEF exam. Very, very important. You can do it. But currently, I don't think there's any center in Nigeria that does that. I think neighboring countries, Cameroon, Togo, or so they do. So people in Nigeria go to those states, those countries, to write the exam. Of course, it's not far. You just branch from Lagos, enter the country, and go and write the exam. So it's a way to boost your point. I think French gives you 50 points. I'm going to put it on the screen to confirm. Is it 250 points? Yeah. But I know a lot of people that have done this. Don't think it's not hard. It's hard, but it's something you can do, because it's not a language you speak every time. Even in English you speak, so people are writing the IELTS more than 5 times. Not to talk of French. It is what it's. Some people have migrated. This morning I was watching a video of a lady that migrated with the French. She went to learn the French from scratch, and she wrote the exam and passed. And she's currently in Canada with her family. So another one is, if you have the chance to study in Canada. So you hear a lot of people coming into the country to come and study and all that. Maybe because they like book like that too. It's just to increase their chances of moving into the country. So when you finish your program and all that, on the CRS link, you see where they ask you, do you have a education, whatever, in Canada? All of us put no, right? By the time you put yes, you see how it boosts your points. So it makes them even have opportunity to register, to apply through the SEC. I'll write it on the screen, because you're already in the country. Their own pathway is different. It's even faster, So you increase your chances by saying, yes, I have schooled in Canada, I have a degree, I have a master's in Canada. and then it increases your chances for even PR already, because you're already here. When you finish, you are here, you apply for you have a work permit, because after schooling you get to work here for 2 years. So all those things are work experience that increases your chances too. If you've tried all this and it's not working out, you may want to consider coming to study in Canada. But you know, the dual in your intent in your mind is to relocate, but you have to come through this pathway. People come in through different way. Don't see it like it's a long journey. It is not. It is what people have. I was lucky. My own journey took a year from application to when I got my PR. But there are people that spent 4, 5, 6 years, even before COVID came and everybody went to relax, like let's wait for this thing to finish, let this Canada open their borders, you know. So it is worth it 100%. Go back to school, and if not even schooling in Nigeria, coming into the country to have your education, just to boost your score. So another point where you can boost your score is to go back to school. I've talked about to go back to school like in Canada, but you can also do the same thing in Nigeria. You have to level up. If you have a diploma, you want to go do your degree. If you have your degree, you have to go do your master's. If you have your master's, then you consider doing your PhD. You get to see, if you use that link, as I said, put it there that you have a master's. You see what your overall score is going to be. Change it that from master's I have a PhD. You see how it will improve your score. If you have a diploma, change it that you have a degree. You know, you get to see, even PGD, postgraduate diploma, it's seen as having 2 degrees. It boosts your score. Yeah, so you want to go back to school. If it is your wife, encourage her to go back to school. If you are the husband and the primary applicant, you want to go back to school. If you're a single person, you've put all your details and you see that it's not scoring. The score is not scoring the way you want it. You may want to consider going back to school. Not everybody that is going back to school that they want to learn anything. They have their reasons why they're going back to school. This is a long-term goal. It's a long-term plan. You know, you don't want to hurry and say, I want to go in the next 6 months. No, people don't do that. People plan it. You see people just walking around, your colleagues in the office, they say they've gone to register, they want to do masters. It's in the live booklet that they have plans. So you should also be among the planners. Have a future plan that I'm going to go back to school and do masters, just to boost your scores. Yeah, and hope for the best. Another way to boost your chances is to get work permits by seeking job in Canada. Lots and lots of people come into the country on work permits, and you'll be wondering, how did they get the job? My brother, there are jobs here and there are no jobs. So you want to maximize all your chances. Go through LinkedIn, Indeed, look for jobs that will give you LMIA, that's labor markets, what's in waiting assessments, to show that for people that are coming in on to do jobs that not, you know, from other countries, foreign workers. There's a document you need to have to show that, okay, this job is not available to other people. People in the country have not been able to fill this position, so you need foreign workers to come fill it up. When you have that experience, it boosts your scores by 200 points. Yeah, if you have that work permit. So you want to explore all the avenues to see that you're able to get a job from Nigeria in Canada. It is possible. People are doing it. People make your research. This journey, anybody that you see has relocated. Even if they used agents, they made a lot of research. And it's not even encouraged for you to use agent. You can do it on your own. You read, you study, you think, you make so much research. You watch a lot of videos, you go to different sites just to learn, so that people that are getting the jobs, and they don't have 2 heads, you can also get job, just to be able to increase your point to come in to the country. Another way is through increasing your work experience. So you have a job, you know, but it's not giving you enough points on the CRS. It's not giving you enough points because your work experience is less than 3 years, is less than 4 years. You want to increase your work experience. Take your time. When your work experience, when you've reached that point, you can now go back to update your express entry profile. I'm not saying you should wait before you I'm not saying you should wait until when you get the required 4 years experience. No, even with 1 year work experience, you can be on the pool. As far as you're eligible, be on the pool. You never know what can happen when you're there. Even with your low score, any province can come pick you. But while you're there, go work on improving your score, right? So you wait. Like, I have somebody that waited. Okay, he was 3 years plus and was going to be 4 years this October, and he waited before he submitted his application. That one is just like 1 week, 2 years, 2 weeks gap. He waited, and when he got the 4 years work experience, he updated his profile and it really went high, you know. So you want to work on increasing your work experience, and I learned you could also include your NYSC work experience. Is a whole 1 year. Yeah, you worked somewhere while you were doing your NYSC, you could update it. So the only thing is for you to make sure that you can get a reference from that employer where you worked. If it was a school you taught, it's a whole 1 year. It's recognized. Even people in Ghana, I learned they also do a 1 year service after graduation. If you can hear one noise, my son playing football in the sitting room. I warned him, but he did not hear. So let's proceed. So you want to include your NYSC as part of your work experience, as I said, as long as you'll be able to prove that you worked there by getting work reference from them. So if it is a school that you served, that the school has packed up, please, you may want to rethink it. You know, but if you work in a proper, well-organized organization, yes, they can give reference that you worked there as your, for NYSC, you state it there in your profile that, you know. Adaiza, you're disturbing me. You're disturbing me with that football. Go and play outside. Go and play that football outside. You're disturbing my video. So a major way people also improve their score is by seeking PNP, Provincial Nomination Program, from other provinces. It looks so huge, like it's not obtainable and all that, but a lot of people have been picked on the pool by provincial nomination. So when you are on the express entry, you want to indicate interest to other provinces that you are open to relocate to that province, so they select you on the pool. So based on your occupation, based on what they are looking for at that moment, you know, I always make an example of a friend that is in Nova Scotia right now. She was on the pool, her score was not high. In fact, she was going to do a program to improve her score and a certification to improve her score on the express entry, and luckily Nova Scotia picked people. They were looking for financial officers, and she was working in the bank. She was just in the pool sitting, and she was lucky to, in fact, she was writing her final exams, you know, and she was lucky and she was picked. So you want to sit on the pool with your whatever it is that you have. As far as you're eligible, you are there. A province could pick you. Once a province picks you, you are sure of getting 600 points in addition to whatever point it is that you have. I'm going to make a comprehensive video of provincial nomination, how people get points, how people get to relocate to Canada by PNP. But the ones that are straightforward, that are more straightforward, is like the ones for Saskatchewan and Manitoba. For Manitoba, if you have a relative, a blood relative that is ready to sponsor you, to invite you, automatically you have 600 points added to your scores on the express entry. So if you are sitting on the express entry with like 330 and your relative invites you, you express interest to Manitoba government, that Manitoba province, that you want to move there because you have family ties, they add 600 points to your 330, making it like 930, and you see the pool, the draws that goes on every day. Automatically you're going to be selected. So for Saskatchewan, you could, I think, family ties and job, they could invite you based on that. But for Manitoba, even if you have a friend, as little as a friend that is ready to nominate you, or a family member, they could give you PNP. But for the friends, you get just 50 points, and for the relative, blood relative, you have 200 points, you know. I'm going to be making a video on that separately. If you are interested in that, in PNP, you know, to get additional 600 points, this is a good time for you to subscribe so that you watch that video to learn more about it. So I hope you've been able to learn one or two things on how to increase your chances on the express entry by improving your CRS scores. It is something obtainable. Don't despair. Don't see that it's not going to work or something. It is going to work out. It is worth it 100%, and it is our prayer that anybody that wants to move here gets the opportunity to do that, because so far so good. Everything has been okay. It's not a perfect country, but it's definitely perfect. It's definitely better than where I'm coming from, you know. Of course I miss my country, but it's better than where I'm coming from, definitely. And other people can attest to it that, you know, it's far better from where we're coming from. So if you do all this, definitely your score is going to improve. And if it doesn't, then you want to go through other route that I will be making videos on in subsequent ones. So please do well to subscribe at this point if you are here to do that, and like this video and share for anybody that that you think will benefit from it. Thank you very much, and see you in my next videos. Bye.